Are you getting married and looking for the right person? Are you getting married and looking for the right person to help? Well, CMJ Entertainment, Toronto's top event planning company, is there to help. They have everything you need to make your day special, with their top DJs, limousine service, videographer, and photographer. Or maybe you just need your decor for that wow factor. For all your entertainment and planning needs, call them at 416-414-8964 or online at cmjentertainment.com. Your one-stop shop.
Creating a vital, healthy, informed community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, focusing on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and organizations which share in that same mission. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper is fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow by empowering the community, by adding value, by instilling self-worth, and by showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper. Stand tall and be proud. Call 647-722-6298 or visit torontocaribbean.com.
You want to see and witness what pure sports and competition is like. When you come to Special Olympics, get involved because it's about choices and chances. The choice is yours to help or not help. The chance is that the Special Olympics athletes deserve a chance to compete. Without your help, that chance is hard to come by.
Special Olympics Ontario would like you to get involved. Go to peelgames2017.com/participate to find out how you can donate, participate, and volunteer.
Small business owners, don't miss this unique networking event. It's the Toronto Caribbean Business Social, Sunday, May 7th at the Pearson Toronto Convention Center, hosted by comedians Mark Trinidad and Jay Martin. Experience keynote speeches by Mishi Me, Maestro Fresh West, Daniel Lewis, and more. Live performances by Mishi Me, Carlos Morgan, Chelsea Stewart, and the Tropicana Queens. You could win over $15,000 in tools to help propel your business. Network with influential entrepreneurs and prominent business owners. The Toronto Caribbean Business Social, Sunday, May 7th at the Pearson Toronto Convention Center, 2638 Steeles Avenue, East Brampton. For tickets, visit eventbrite.ca or call 647-722-6298.
Good morning and welcome to the Breakthrough Show with me, your host and Breakthrough Partner, Brandon V, here on Carib101 Radio. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's had an amazing weekend. I know I did. Sunshine. Enjoying it, making it happen. Guys, I just want to welcome you and thank you so much for tuning in today to the Breakthrough Show. Ah, man. It's been impactful, joyful, funny, just everything, all in the last kind of under half an hour.
Already.
Is being crazy. So I just like to let you know that if you want to stream us anywhere, you can do on any device, on your laptop, on your tablet, on your cell phone. Take us with you. On Carib101.com, so you can stream us live on any device in any country in any world.
That's beautiful.
Any planet, any universe. Take your pick. We're all here.
There you go. Other planets too, man.
There you go.
Get it in where you can, right?
100%. So, guys, we want you to take us with you. Also, better still, tune in. Go into hello. Says connecting. Says connecting. Yeah. Testing. Okay, if you can hear us on Facebook Live, say hi. Beautiful. Okay. So you can go to our Facebook fan page, Carib101 Radio. Go to Carib101 Radio and like the page. Make sure you get everybody else to like it as well. And watch into the studio because we got some craziness that really is gonna go
already
on
missed
today.
Part of the show.
Oh, you already missed part of the show. I always say that the beginning parts, the break times, and at the end is the best time of the show. We need to have a behind the scenes camera, right?
Right there.
Right there.
And capture everything that's happening in this area over here.
So you can see the fun, the shenanigans that
whole
go on.
party over here.
So we already got an amazing amount of people saying hi. So we just want to say hi to Paul Moore. Looking forward to another great show. Hey, Paul.
What's up,
How you
Paul?
doing, brother?
What's up?
Thanks for tuning in again. We got Kathy Mason Moore. Hi, Brandon. Happy Monday.
How you doing?
Beautiful. So they can hear us. We also want to say Paula Gooden. Hi, Paula.
Yeah. That's my sister.
That's my
sister.
Sweet. Hey, Paula,
sis.
how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to ask you, we have an amazing guest in the studio today. So I'm going to ask you to share this out. The reason I'm going to ask you to share this stream out right now is because you're going to get some nuggets here today.
Oh, yes.
You're going to get some knowledge, some understanding, some nuggets. But more importantly is that you're going to get to know our guests. So without further ado, I want to welcome this gentleman. This gentleman is a powerhouse.
Oh, thank you, man.
He's going out there. He's making it happen. He's got a lot of knowledge. You're going to think that he's a lot older than he actually is.
Maybe I am.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's just using oil of Ule.
It's actually coconut oil. You know?
Coconut oil. That's
Keeps you young.
Okay, so I need to bathe in coconut oil, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Regression.
That's what it is.
Okay, got it. Beautiful. So we just want to welcome to the studio, Mr. Jamelle Lindo.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much for having me, man. I so appreciate just being here and sharing this space with you right now. It's amazing. It's so much nicer to be here in person, by the way. It's beautiful when you're actually here in person.
Right? A lot of
It
people
is.
come in and they're like, wow, the studio, because they see it on Facebook all the time.
Right.
They get streamed out and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually in the studio.
Yeah. It's a totally different experience to be here
Right?
than watching it, you know?
100%.
Oh, yeah,
But we
man.
want to welcome you, brother. Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
agreeing to come on the show.
Yeah.
It's been a while coming. There's a huge list of people who want to get on the show. And,
Yeah.
there's some, and I know you're really busy. I
Oh,
know you're
yeah.
running around. You're doing a whole bunch of things. So thank you for carving out that time to be with us today.
My goodness, my pleasure, man. It's
Beautiful.
my pleasure to be here.
So I just want to check. Okay, so tell us, I always love to find out about the guests on the show, where they came from, because, what you're doing now isn't always necessarily what you started off wanting to do. Wasn't always the plan.
Yeah.
And generally you find that people who are always delivering value to people, there's a reason for it. It doesn't just come innate. There's a reason or something that happened, a trigger point that comes across. So I want you to regress yourself.
Okay.
Take us
I'm going
back to little Jamelle.
Okay. Well, I think for me, it's always been a process for me. I think it's just become a lot more obvious later on. But I would have to say, the moment where everything changed for me is where I started to recognize, right, that I could participate a little bit more in my experience of life. I'd say that's where it all started.
Okay.
And I was reading a book at the time, which, was crazy for me because I'm not a big reader, but I was reading a book at the time. And as I was reading, I was going through, and then I came across this sentence. And this sentence is what changed my life, and it's what led me to be here. Probably my very first, I guess you could say, breakthrough on the breakthrough show, right?
Nice.
And the sentence that I read that absolutely floored me was, "You are not your thoughts." And I stopped. I paused.
I can imagine.
I dropped the book.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
what?
It's like someone might as well have lit that book on fire, because I was like, whoa. What does that mean? And imagine, the 16-year-old kid who's not much into reading this book, and something hops off the page.
Do you remember the name of the book?
Punches him in the face. Yeah, it was A New Earth. Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth. That's where I read that. And as soon as I read that, it did something to me.
Yeah.
It changed everything. And I stopped and I said, well, what do you mean? Because up until that point, I'd identified with everything that I was thinking,
Okay.
And I had very negative beliefs about myself and about the world and about people. I had very rigid assumptions and beliefs, and I thought that that's the way that it was. That's the way the world is. This is the person that I am. So for that to come in was almost like, okay, so you're telling me that my identity is not what I think. Well, now the question
that
marks.
challenged your whole belief system
the whole
in one
thing.
sentence.
One sentence challenged the whole thing. And what's crazy is that it's something that I'd never heard before.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, why have I never heard this before? And what that sentence did is it gave me an opportunity to step back, right, and really take a look at what my experience of life was.
Yes.
Jamelle, what are you thinking? Jamelle, what are your beliefs about yourself? Again, at the time, they were really, really bad.
Yeah.
A lot of insecurities, a lot of, troubles, a lot of, problems, just a lot of things that I was going through.
Okay.
And I was able to step back and just look at it, right? And I recognized, I'm in a really negative internal state here.
Okay.
And it's manifesting in my life. Like, I'm not having the greatest life experience. Now, granted, if you had known me at that time during high school, you wouldn't have seen any of this happy guy. I like to laugh. I know how to get the party started.
It was all internalized.
It was all internalized, right?
Okay.
And when I stepped back from this perspective, right, it allowed me to participate in the experience of my thinking. And thinking is tied to feeling. So then I became essentially, a participant in my experience.
That's something interesting you just brought up.
Yes.
So would you say that thinking is tied to feeling, or feeling is tied to thinking?
The thought comes first, right? And then the feeling comes after. So you almost want to think of it like if you had like a straight line that was moving real fast,
Yeah.
right? And then it made a turn, like let's say it made a left turn. That's like the thought, right? But the feeling, the emotion, right, is a little bit slower. It takes a little bit of time. So if it was following that line that went pew, pew, it would kind of take a while to like bend around the curve and come around, right? So it's the thought that's the leader, right? And then it's the emotion that follows it.
Okay.
And this was kind of like my introduction to, I didn't have the language at the time, but this was my intro to emotional intelligence, which is what I coach to now.
Okay.
And so that was the beginning point and the starting point of really learning how to become a leader of my own life and a leader of my experience, as opposed to just allowing, my experience to be dictated by whatever I come across that day, right? And that's the space that the majority of people are in. Like if you wake up, and the people that you like say hello to you, and you get out to your car and you drive in and there's no traffic, and you get in and your boss says hello, great job on the report yesterday.
Yeah.
You have a great day.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
But then if you wake up, your alarm didn't go off. You know what I mean? You gotta like jet all the way to work. You hit traffic.
Domino effect.
Your boss doesn't even say hello to you. What does that mean? Suddenly we have a negative experience. So for the majority of people, your experience is just a result of what you encounter that day.
Absolutely.
Which is problematic because, as we all know, life isn't just going to give you candy and roses all the time.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's really where everything started. I'd say I've had several breakthroughs, but just getting that little tidbit of knowledge and understanding to be able to step back and pay attention to what my experience is, and then to become a participant in my experience is what changed everything for me.
So what was the plan? What did you want to be? I mean, did you want to be something initially, or did your parents want you to be something?
I When this all started to happen, I wasn't thinking about, personal development or leadership or facilitation or
But were
training.
you thinking about a job? It's like, okay,
None of
what
that.
do I want to do in life?
No, I wasn't thinking about any of
You
that.
were just kind of riding the bike.
Yeah, man. Like, I didn't think that this would ever manifest into any kind of career. You know what I mean? I just started the process. At the time, this was in high school. I was making music.
There you go. So you were making music. So this was your passion at the time. You were making what kind of music?
Oh, do I have to say?
You have to say.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Come on, let's bring it on.
It was rap music.
It was.
Why'd you make me do that, man?
So you know how to rap.
There your subscribers go. Nobody's watching now.
Well, we had Armand Shafi on, and Armand rapped
I saw
on the
that.
show.
I'm not dropping a 16. I'm telling you that right
He's
now.
like, I'm just putting that out there right now. I ain't doing that.
That was a long time ago, so it's not happening. But yeah, that's what I was doing at the time.
So you were rapping. So you wanted to do music,
yeah, absolutely.
and you wanted to kind of pursue that and see where it went.
Yeah.
And then you got kicked in the teeth by this book and this one sentence that
Yeah.
changed it all for you. You're like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
beautiful.
what happened.
You know what? We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Mr. Jamelle Lindo after these messages. Catch you after this.
Are you getting married and looking for the right person to help? Well, CMJ Entertainment, Toronto's top event planning company, is there to help. They have everything you need to make your day special, with their top DJs, limousine service, videographer, and photographer. Or maybe you just need your decor for that wow factor. For all your entertainment and planning needs, call them at 416-414-8964 or online at cmjentertainment.com. Your one-stop shop.
Creating a vital, healthy, informed community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, focusing on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and organizations which share in that same mission. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper is fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow by empowering the community, by adding value, by instilling self-worth, and by showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper. Stand tall and be proud. Call 647-722-6298 or visit torontocaribbean.com. Small business owners, don't miss this unique networking event. It's the Toronto Caribbean Business Social, Sunday, May 7th at the Pearson Toronto Convention Center. Hosted by comedians Mark Trinidad and Jay Martin. Experience keynote speeches by Mishi Me, Maestro Fresh West, Daniel Lewis, and more. Live performances by Mishi Me, Carlos Morgan, Chelsea Stewart, and the Tropicana Queens. You could win over $15,000 in tools to help propel your business. Network with influential entrepreneurs and prominent business owners. The Toronto Caribbean Business Social, Sunday, May 7th at the Pearson Toronto Convention Center, 2638 Steeles Avenue East, Brampton. For tickets, visit eventbrite.ca or call 647-722-6298.
Good morning and welcome to the Breakthrough Show with me, your host and breakthrough partner, Brandon V. here on Carib101.
Yes, sir.
The radio show without boundaries. We have our special guest, Mr. Jamelle Lindo.
Thank you, sir.
Man, thank you so much for being on the show.
I'm loving it.
So you're a rapper?
No. Absolutely
I keep on
not.
trying to push that one.
That was 15 years ago.
15 years.
Yeah. Because if I'm a
15
rapper,
years?
I'm also a wide receiver and a shooting guard. So I'm just
Everything
saying,
called in one.
you can't just call out the one thing.
So
right?
you're a rapping wide shooting receiver.
Yeah.
I just actually pictured that.
That's what I want to be when I grow up.
That's my new mission.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, so you were into music, you had a passion for music, you thought that's the way it was going to go. You read this amazing book, you read one sentence, it gave you a paradigm shift.
Yes.
A paradigm shift.
Which is the name of my company.
Which is the name of its company.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's why.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it when that comes together, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you had this paradigm shift, which is why you named your company that, because
Yes.
you literally had that shift in your
Right.
thought pattern, which changed you to a completely different thing and took you down a path of self-discovery.
Exactly.
To be like, what does this actually mean?
Yeah.
Tell us about that journey.
So as soon as I discovered that, then I thought to myself, you know what, let me take a step into this, you know, and let me really try to figure this out. And it was interesting because really early on in that journey, I did what most people do, right? Which is, let me tell the world. You know what I mean? I just discovered something amazing. You've got to do this. You've got to do this. Guess what? Oh my goodness. And that alienated me.
Okay.
Right. And I started to look a little bit like, you know, what's going on with this guy? What's happening? And so I pulled back. And I said to myself, if this is real, you know, then all I have to do is truly incorporate it into my life, allow it to be a part of who I am genuinely and authentically, and live it. And if it's real, you know, then the example will be enough. I won't have to say a word. You know, and it took years. I spent a lot of time, you know, doing self-development work and understanding myself and why am I thinking the way that I'm thinking? How is that creating my experience? And really just going backwards into myself. You know, and now, I've taken courses to learn a little bit about, you know, coaching and emotional intelligence and all that. And I think that stuff is important. But honestly, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't backed on real personal experience. You know, so I had to go through that process myself. And that's really where the journey started to heat up. But even at that time, you know, I didn't think that it was going to be a career.
Just rewinding a little. You said something interesting.
Yeah.
About coaching and experience.
Right.
Because I have my opinions on that too.
I would love to hear them.
My opinions, and it's interesting because I think coaching has a very, very big part to play.
Right.
Okay. And sometimes understanding a structure. But when you become a coach, the thing that I've noticed is that you become structured when people are unstructured. And to be able to fit an unstructured person into a structured environment sometimes becomes very difficult and becomes part of the problem and generates inside the mind something that says, I can't do because I can't fit into that structure.
Correct.
Hence, I have failed.
Correct.
Okay? And unless you don't have the experience to step outside of that structure, to stand with that person.
Yes.
Instead of bringing them into the structure, stand in their unstructured world to find out where they are, to hold their hands and navigate them.
Yes.
Is a very big difference. Would you agree?
Yeah, so there's a few things there that you said that were actually really, really interesting. So the first thing is about the structure, right? So whenever you go to any place that's going to educate you, they're going to give you some structure. They're going to give you a set of tools. Now, if you don't have the experience to back what you're about to do, then what can happen is you can become dependent on that structure.
Yes.
And so when I approach the experience as a coach, right, I'm not connecting with you as a person. I'm walking you through the structure of what I believe it is to coach someone, right? But I'm missing everything. Like, I'm not connecting with you. I'm not empathizing with you, right? I have no idea what's happening, but I'm saying, okay, this is what I was taught in the school, and then we're going to do a takeaway item and a step, and then boom, see you next week to make sure that you got that step done. But like, do you really know me? Do you understand me, right? So I went to learn about coaching to understand that structure, but I'd already lived the feeling of being totally unstructured in my conversation, in the coaching process. So I think it's important for people to consider that, right? Because if you're going to go learn about something, it's always more effective when you have the fundamental skill. So you should really be a coach before being a coach. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. The experience and you going through it and overcoming it and coming out the other end is a coaching in itself. Because think about it. In order to go through a structure on how to structure something and to be able to become a structured coach and get a certification came from first somebody who never had a certificate.
Exactly.
It was a thought pattern from experience that got brought out, and then these things came.
And that's why you got to be flexible within yourself. You got to sometimes go past the coaching structure
Absolutely.
based on the need,
Yeah.
you know? So, I agree
So I
with that.
totally get the whole kind of coaching structure as well, because it helps you understand the personal experience. But I think that you lose a majority of it if you don't have the personal experience to be able to understand, how do I move the structure? Because the structure is never rigid. You have to be able to look at the structure as flexible. I can pull this way and this way without damaging it.
Exactly.
And that comes from experience.
Exactly, right? And for me, it's about, what I coach is leadership, right?
Yes.
And when I say that, it doesn't mean that I tell people how to be leaders of their own lives. Like, you can't teach that. That's something that we're all born with.
Absolutely,
Everybody
yeah.
is born a leader of their own lives.
For
That's
sure.
the reason why, as kids, we wear pots and pans as hats, and we run around naked. Why do we do these
I
things?
thought that was only me.
Some of us never grew out of that phase. But,
I know, right?
But we're born leaders.
Yes.
We know what we want out of life, and
Absolutely.
anybody who has kids can attest to this, right?
Yeah.
What's that one word that you hate when your kid learns?
Yeah.
No.
No.
And what do kids do when they learn that? They love it. They love setting boundaries. No. 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 And you're like,
And they're usually telling you, can you put your clothes on? No.
Exactly. So we come in already
Yeah.
being leaders of our lives. So it's
Absolutely.
not something that I teach. Now, what ends up happening is, over the course of your life, you forget it. You forget it. It falls away, falls to the wayside, and you start living a life of should
Yes.
and obligation.
Yes.
And it becomes about what the world wants from you, and we fall into that, and somewhere in the back of our minds we know that something is off. And that's the feeling that I had up until, I guess, my second breakthrough, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Something is off. I don't know, and I don't know if anybody watching can relate to this. I just feel like the life that I'm living is not my life. I
okay.
feel like if it were up to me, things would be very, very different, And then we go in, right, and we drag ourselves into this, into a job, for example, like a 9 to 5, and we're upset, and we're disgruntled, and we think it's about the customer. Or we think it's about our bad boss, or we think it's about our peers, right? But what we fail to recognize is that it's not about any of those things. It's because we've compromised ourselves so much, and we are now living a life that is totally not what we want, and this is just the overspill of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who are in that boat, and I know because I've been there, feeling like you're not leading your life. Your life is being led by, your significant other. It's
Yeah.
being led by what your dad wants for you, what your mom wants for you,
Yeah.
what society told you that you need to do. Right?
So you're in life, but you're not in control of it.
Yeah, you're in life, but you're not in control of it. Now, here's the interesting thing about being in this seat. It's a very convenient seat, right? Very convenient, because when things go wrong, you can just do this.
100%.
Right.
Point to everybody else.
You know what I mean? So it's pretty easy. It's almost like when you take a look at a company, people who work for the company can do this.
Yeah.
But what does the CEO? CEO, you messed something up. It's like, there's no one to blame. Like, I'm getting the biggest paycheck. Who do I can't point the finger.
Yeah.
Our lives need to be like that. We
Yeah.
should be the CEO of our own lives. There shouldn't
Absolutely.
be anybody else to blame for the choices that we're making. Right?
And sometimes within that, people use, again, it's one of those convenient things,
Yes.
because so long as you live in somebody else's life and somebody else's decision making for your life, and by society's indication of how you should live, then you have an excuse and a reason to consistently fail.
Correct. And it's comfortable.
Comfortable.
But it's not fulfilling.
No.
And the sad part is that a lot of times we get to where there's no turning back before we actually recognize that. And for me, it's about, how do we give people the tools to be able to recognize that now and make the change now while you can?
But what do you find? Because look, I meet a lot of people who are comfortable looking at their lives, comfortable where they are. Now, they're just literally one level before the drowning notch saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And they're literally about to drown. But because they're so focused on people who are at a level that are suffering more than they are, it makes them look at their life saying, I'm okay because look at them. Okay? But how do you get somebody to look at that situation or the real circumstance that they're in,
right,
and help them to understand that this is not okay, to motivate them into action to do something that is going to better their lives?
Two different answers. The first thing is I can't. I can't do that. I'm not a magician. I can't go to someone and motivate them to change their lives. I can't do that. And if you know someone who can, show me that person, because I think that is absolutely phenomenal. That's amazing. You know what I mean? Nor do I want to. I don't want to convince someone, right, who's in a very negative and bad position that they need to make a change. That's not what I do, and it's not what I'm passionate about, right? So really what I'm passionate about is someone who can feel and understand that something isn't right
and wants to make the change.
And I want to make a change. I just don't have the tools. Yes, now we can work. So that's the first thing. Second thing is this. I love that analogy because you mentioned, you know, the water and the person drowning, and I think it's a great metaphor, right? So let's take a look at this physically. Now, let's say somebody is drowning in water, and you see that they're drowning, and you see that they're struggling, right? Now, imagine that person, you're coming to save them, and they go, no, I'm good. What would you say? You would say, this person's insane, right? This is crazy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Like, how could you be in a space right now where you're literally drowning, right? And you don't think that you are. It's very scary, right? So, how could that happen? Well, it can only happen if there's a lack of self-awareness. If you're not aware of yourself and your own experience and what's happening with you right now in this moment, that can happen. You can be drowning and not know. But if there's any amount, any degree at all of self-awareness, then you know that the experience that you're having right now is not right. It's not the experience that you want, and that's the starting point. Now, I got to throw something else out there, because if you are in that space, right, and you're drowning, and you say, well, I'm drowning because of them, is there anything you can do to save yourself? No. Not unless they come and save you.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're drowning and you say, this is my experience is that of drowning, right? And I need to take full accountability for the place that I'm in. Doesn't mean that I'm always going to be here? No. But if you don't take accountability for that, right, then you absolutely can't do anything. So it has to start there. And once that has happened, then that person is ready for, you know, a transformation, a change, personal development, all of these kinds of things. But I can't create that. As long as I've been doing this, I haven't ever been able to just create that desire in someone else. Like, I really just don't believe in that. I don't believe in that motivation. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, there are people who come out to my workshops or have seen me speak who become motivated by it, right? But I don't think that I'm creating the motivation. Like, I don't believe that I am. And even
I believe that there's people out there. I mean, look at Anthony Robbins. Okay.
Yes.
I've heard so many testimonials of people who go to his event like, I need a change in my life. I don't know. I'm done. This is my last ditch effort.
Yes.
Because they put their money into going to that event, and then they hear things, but what it does, it boomerangs everything back. It's coming from the front, gets delivered to that person. That person sends it out, and they look at their life. Because it's literally, okay, let me go into you, pull it out, hold it up in front of your face for you to see it. When you can see these certain aspects of your life, then you realize, now you become self-aware. But it's like that kind of motivational person that kind of helps pull it out to let you become self-aware. Now, it doesn't end there, because that motivational person has done what they needed to do. Now you come to the next tier, which is somebody like yourself, which is like, now I know I have the issue. Now I know I have this within me. Now I know that I can overcome this. Now I need to know how to overcome it. Now it's like, okay, hand off.
Yes,
Here's the back,
absolutely.
go.
That's a good example. That's a phenomenal example, because Tony Robbins is great at what he does, right? But you said that the person showed up at the event. That means that they went and they bought a ticket. And those tickets ain't cheap.
No.
Right? So if a person is willing
You're
to
gonna
make
have a
that
certain amount of willing,
then that means that they're ready for something, right? But the person who didn't make that investment isn't going to be there, right? Now, what someone like Tony Robbins is really great at, right, is essentially asking, right, and this is the skill. This is the whole coaching skill right here.
Yeah.
Asking the right questions that direct your attention in such a way that you become aware of things that maybe you didn't know were there before, right? So, for example, if I say to you, Brandon, what color is that Lysol thing?
Yellow.
Okay. I don't know what to address. Should I start by addressing the fact that you don't know that that's green, or
This guy's colorblind.
we'll just ignore that. We'll air this in grayscale. Okay, so when I asked you that question, right? You're too much, man. You're too much.
We gotta have fun, right?
Why I would never coach you, man.
I know. It's just like, this guy's useless. So it's green. It's green.
Okay, it's green. All right,
green.
good. Thank goodness. All right, so when I ask you that question, right, you looked at it. Now, you knew that it was always there, but you weren't really paying too much attention to it, right?
Yeah.
But you knew that it was there. Like, if you needed to clean something, maybe you would, right? So that's the skill, and that's the art of coaching and all learning and all development, is to ask questions, right?
Gets you to focus in.
That point the attention in such a way that you can become aware of something within yourself, but you're doing it that maybe you didn't know was there. And then now that you become aware, you can decide, do I want to change this? And if the answer is yes, beautiful. Here's the tool. But I don't do anything. They do it all. Like, I can't even take credit. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful process to be a part of. I love it. It's my passion in life. I want to share it with as many
I get a funny
people as I
feeling.
can.
I get that feeling that might be your passion.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm still, the vote's still out right now, but
I kind of like it. I mean,
Wow, guys, we're going to run to a quick commercial break. We will be back after these messages with our amazing guest, Mr. Jamelle Lindo.
You want to see and witness what pure sports and competition is like. When you come to Special Olympics, get involved, because it's about choices and chances. The choice is yours to help or not help. The chance is that the Special Olympics athletes deserve a chance to compete. Without your help, that chance is hard to come by.
Special Olympics Ontario would like you to get involved. Go to peelgames2017.com/participate to find out how you can donate, participate, and volunteer.
Are you getting married and looking for the right person to help? Well, CMJ Entertainment, Toronto's top event planning company, is there to help. They have everything you need to make your day special, with their top DJs, limousine service, videographer, and photographer. Or maybe you just need your decor for that wow factor. For all your entertainment and planning needs, call them at 416-414-8964 or online at cmjentertainment.com. Your one-stop shop.
Small business owners, don't miss this unique networking event. It's the Toronto Caribbean Business Social, Sunday, May 7th at the Pearson Toronto Convention Center. Hosted by comedians Mark Trinidad and Jay Martin. Experience keynote speeches by Mishi Me, Maestro Fresh West, Daniel Lewis, and more. Live performances by Mishi Me, Carlos Morgan, Chelsea Stewart, and the Tropicana Queens. You could win over $15,000 in tools to help propel your business. Network with influential entrepreneurs and prominent business owners. The Toronto Caribbean Business Social, Sunday, May 7th at the Pearson Toronto Convention Center, 2638 Steeles Avenue, East Brampton. For tickets, visit eventbrite.ca or call 647-722-6298.
Good morning and welcome to the Breakthrough Show with me, your host and Breakthrough Partner, Brandon V. Breakthrough Partner, not Breakthrough Coach. Breakthrough Partner, Brandon V. here on
What's wrong with Coach, man? What's wrong with
No. I'm not a coach. I haven't taken any certification in coaching, so I can't call myself a coach. But we have some people inside the studio very particular about coaches, so yeah, I'm not calling myself a coach. I'm just putting that right out there, okay?
I don't even like the word, to be honest.
No, seriously.
I don't even like
it's one of those things. It's one of those words that's been used a little too much. And again, it comes. I think the people who could really call themselves coaches are people who have a proven. I think sometimes you need to keep it quiet and just deal with people on one-on-one. Just let them refer till you build up that foundation of success. That it's like, now I believe I'm a coach. So because of the successes of the people who've come out, and you know, you've had a lot of success going on. You know, I can see some really huge things for you. So that's amazing. So tell me, so when you're in this position, you're helping people, you're helping them, give them skills to be able to be like, hey, I'm in this place of life. I understand. I need to move forward. And you coach anybody and everybody, right? Absolutely. Just as long as they're kind of at that place.
Absolutely. And
they're ready for the information and knowledge on leadership.
Self-leadership.
Self-leadership.
Right.
Now, obviously, self-leadership can come in many different forms and shapes depending on what leadership is to that person. It's like, okay, what area do you want to live in? Do you want to take control of?
Yeah.
And you give them the tools. So what type of tools is it that you're giving them to be able to help with that?
The majority of the tools are all about introspection. Okay. And it's all about turning your attention in the opposite direction. So why is that important in today's world? It's important because if you take a look at society and kind of where things are at right now, everything is fighting for your attention. Okay, so we have all these ads. We're being inundated with ads 24/7, right? And then you've got social media, and again, pulling your attention outward. And then you're scrolling, and then you're scrolling, and then you're sitting on the john. You're on break at work, and you're
3 hours
wow, like, oh my just went by, like, you know. So
I'm getting paid for this.
I hope nobody knows that I've been missing for 3.5 hours, right? Felt like 3 minutes to you.
Right.
So you're scrolling, right? And your attention is totally externalized again, right? It's focused on what's outside of you.
Totally.
And then you go to a movie, and then you're watching, Netflix, and you're binging on Netflix, and everything is pulling your attention outside.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no skill and there's no ability to be able to look inside, figure out, well, what's happening.
Because we live in a digital world,
we live in
right?
that world. Yeah, and what's crazy is nobody gives us these skills, but we see the effects of people not having these tools every single day. Right?
Yeah.
Most medicated generation, most mentally ill generation.
Absolutely.
The list goes on and on, and most obese, like it just goes on and on and on and on. So really what I provide are tools that you can use that are going to help you to, and it sounds weird, but see yourself. Okay? And once you can see yourself, then you can participate in the process of who you are and where you're going.
And that's a very deep statement, because when people say that, a lot of people are looking at themselves, right? A lot of people are busy standing outside looking at themselves opposed to looking inside themselves, because the actual self is really
so
the
good.
non-existent.
Can I steal that?
Absolutely,
for my
take
workshop?
it. It's all yours.
Like, no copyright, right? You guys
This is all
witnessed
yours.
it. I can use that. I'm not even going to quote you.
Don't call me. It's all yours. Instead of looking at the internal person, who's the real person, because that's where the emotion, that's where the feeling, that's where the ideas, that's where the thought comes from, and that's where the true you exists. So when I see, it's not I see the external version of who the you is. It's I see your soul.
Yes.
I see the real you.
Exactly.
That transcends all the materialism.
Right.
And when people can introvert their look to see that internal self of them, they understand who the true self is.
All right, that was like, so, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back later. If you need any help with that, you can just message this guy. I think he has a pretty good idea of what's happening right now. Yes, man,
but
I
it's
couldn't say
true,
it better
right?
myself. Yeah, that's it.
But that's it. But the fact that you get people to look at that and to help them understand the differentiation between the two, it's something that is so ridiculously needed in this time and age.
Yes, and when I was going through my journey, I was doing that with myself, but I didn't have any names for it. I didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, much later, actually working with a mentor of mine, corporate mentor of mine,
Okay.
who, you know, floated this idea of emotional intelligence. And so I looked into it. Daniel Goleman, by the way, the front runner of that, if you're interested.
Okay.
I looked into it and I'm like, everything that I need to say is within this language. And I was able to start to, you know, pull together some practical tools. And it was, you know, through a lot of help, a lot of support, a lot of mentorship. You know what I mean? My godmom has been the greatest mentor for me.
Amazing.
My mom gave me a great start to life.
Now
know
you
what
have
I
a
mean?
godmother in
And so,
stereo
you know,
now.
What was that?
You have a godmother in stereo
And
now.
then another one in stereo. Like, mom's just popping up everywhere. Do I look like I need a mom? Is that what's going on? So, you know, and I was able to, you know, put together tools and understand what to call them, right? And emotional intelligence is such a great piece because first and foremost, we are emotional creatures. Yet we ignore this and we act like it doesn't exist. We even have this cultural stigma where it's bad to be in your emotions, like there's like it's a bad thing, right? So we just act like it doesn't exist. But everybody is emotionally imbalanced.
But would you?
I'm not excluding myself.
No, that's
I'm
so
not
true.
excluding
Do you
myself.
feel that do you feel that women are emotionally imbalanced?
Oh no, did you say women?
Now we're all emotionally imbalanced, but would you say that men are more emotionally imbalanced than women?
To be honest, I would not make it a gender-related thing. From what I've seen, like from what I've, and plus, there's two women right here that are going to scratch out my eyes. Like, so let me just. I like
I was like, how's he gonna play this one?
I like my eyesight, so let me just say the right thing to say. You know, no, I'm joking. But, okay, but
Oh my
honest,
gosh.
really and truly,
Yeah.
you know, from the people that I've worked with, I haven't seen that there is an imbalance of you know these emotional situations from men to women. We all have it, and what I'm referring to is not like the intense you know emotions of like you know post-traumatic stress. Those things are different, and I would never recommend for someone like that to only go for a coaching process. I think coaching can help, but there are certain things that where you do need therapeutic help and you need to see someone for that.
Yeah.
But if you're in a space where you just want to move forward, because therapy takes you back over and over and over again, where you want to move forward and you're ready to move forward, right? Then that's where coaching is really going to help.
So you don't really think that that there needs to be a separate kind of coaching for women or a separate kind of coaching for men?
No, I think that maybe as a woman, maybe you can relate more to another woman. Maybe as a man, you can relate more to another man. But ultimately, emotion doesn't have gender attached to it, right? Emotion is a human.
Can you just repeat that one more time?
Emotion doesn't have a gender attached to it. It's a human experience, not a gender experience. So you can't say that one is more emotional than the other. We all have these kinds of challenges.
Yes.
Right? So if we're looking to accomplish a goal, right? Let's say I want to start my own business.
Okay.
Right? Or I want to, I don't know, it could be a number of different things, right?
Yeah.
Start my own business, whatever. In order for me to reach that goal, I need to do a certain amount of planning and all that. That's where the coaching process comes in.
Okay.
To move you towards your goal, whatever that goal is, right? Now, aside from that, what you're going to encounter will be some external obstacles.
Yeah.
But a lot of the obstacles that you're going to encounter, and anybody who's an entrepreneur will be able to relate to this, will be the internal obstacles. The emotional obstacles, you know.
Amen.
How do I put myself out there? You know, what will my family think? What is my girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband going to think?
Yeah.
You know, can I do this? Like, is this
Yes.
something that I can do? Now, none of these obstacles, by the way, are physical.
Yeah.
They're not physical. Like, where's my self-doubt? Can you grab it? Just grab it, put it in a bag, and throw it away. Right? I could do that with this bottle.
Exactly.
But if you have self-doubt,
Life would
where
be
is it?
so much easier.
It would be so much, if there were just physical things that I could just move and we're done with that,
Upgrade.
right? You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case.
No.
Right? And so we need an entirely different skill set than the one that I used to move this bottle.
Yeah.
Right? Compared to the one that I would use to move an internal limitation or limiting belief or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So just one other piece that I have to add to this.
Okay.
emotional beings first. Emotional beings first. We are emotional beings first. I don't care how much you don't want that to be the reality, how much you want to ignore
it's part
it.
of the human makeup.
It's the way that it is. The only reason why our bums are in this chair right now is because of the emotion. I have so much passion about, people development. That's why my bum is in this chair.
Yeah.
You have so much passion for thrilling, exciting conversations. That's why your bum is in that chair. Passion is an emotion.
Yes.
It's an emotion, right? So we don't do anything outside of the emotional pull. I mean, I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not going to make claim to be. But if you look at neuroscience, right, it'll even tell you that we've had the emotional brain, the limbic system, for longer than we've had the thinking brain, the neocortex. That's a newer development. So that means even as a human species, right, we've been feeling for longer than we've been thinking. So you got to think about that. No, feel about that.
No, totally. Because I mean, if you think about it, within animals, there's an emotional response to do something. They don't know why. There's no thought pattern behind it.
Exactly.
It's just an emotional response that I have to fly south.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And haven't you had that feeling? I gotta go.
You don't know what intuition
exactly
is. Something that is innate within our emotion that gets us to do something without thought pattern behind it. And most of the time, it's correct.
There you go. Now, what's happening in today's society is that there is a disconnect between the feeling and the thought, right?
Absolutely.
And so we need to find the balance between thinking and feeling. When there's too much of one, and you know what I mean, it throws everything out of whack.
Yeah.
So emotional intelligence, which is about self-awareness and all these kinds of things, is about finding the balance. Now, when the balance is there, achieving your goal is easy.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's where you start to lead your life, your own life. But you have to be able to find that within. So to come back to one of your questions previously, that's what I provide is the tools. It's a tool belt to help you to do that. It's almost like if you said that you wanted to build a house, right? Now, let's say you knew exactly how to build a house. You know how to build a house. Okay, that's fantastic. So you have a blueprint, right? And then I say, Brandon, go build the house.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say, Brandon, but you know how to build a house, right? You're going to say yes, right? Cool. All right, go build a house, right? And then you're going to go,
there's some stuff I need.
yeah, I'm going to need a few things. You know
Just
what I mean?
a couple of things.
All right, so what do you need, Brandon? I would say, Brandon, so what do you need?
I need a hammer, I need some bricks, I need some wood, I need some
There you go.
stuff, some raw material.
Right, exactly. So everybody knows
Yeah.
how to build their life fundamentally. Everybody knows that. They know what they want on a deep level.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't have to do anything about that. If you know how to build a house, I don't have to do anything
Yeah.
to show you how to build a house.
Yeah.
Right? But I can say, Brandon, here's the hammer, here's the saw, here's the nails, here's the concrete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are just tools that you're going to use to do what you innately already know how to do. We all know how to lead our lives.
But sometimes we forget about that, right?
We always forget.
We don't have very good memories.
No, I don't know what's going on.
We forget that we know.
Yeah, and
we
not
lose
excluded.
trust
Yeah.
in ourselves. Because
Yes.
when we lose trust in ourselves, down to having a doubt of something within us, and then somebody else
Right.
comes in and substantiates that doubt, now we put it in a rock solid form to say, wow, so that person saw that too, so now this is the fact of me.
Exactly.
So now we distrust ourselves.
And what if you have no concept or idea of how to reevaluate that doubt?
That's the key.
Then it'll just keep stopping you.
Yeah.
And how many people listening have had, the same issue happen over and over and over again. And it's and it reinvents itself. We see it a lot in relationships, right?
Yeah.
I'm just dating the same person with a different face. They always do this. they always do the same thing. It's always the same problem, And then what do we do? And then what do we do, right? Oh, you can't trust women. Or you can't trust these guys. They're all bad, right? It's like, no, they're not all bad.
No, you just been dating the same person.
Right? There's something that you need to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that when you reevaluate that, you'll start to notice a different kind of person. your selection criteria will become very different. But it has to start with you. And I want to be very clear. I'm not exempt from this whole thing. Like I am.
Too late. You can't take that away now.
I already said I'm the provider.
You set it up.
Damn. And it's the truth.
Yeah,
it's the truth.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm as much a part of the process as anybody else. And if there's anybody out there, and if there's anybody out there who tells you, you know, that they've perfected self-awareness and emotional intelligence, and they are the ultimate lead. There's nothing else that they can learn. Run for the hills.
Run fast.
Run for the hills.
Jump on the Segway and keep on going.
Right? Because we're all there.
Yeah.
You know, and I have blockages and limitations myself that I'm still working through.
Yes.
The only difference is that I've just been doing it for a longer period of time. Right? And it shows.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to give and share with other people.
Wow.
You know?
Dude, that's deep. You know, it's
one day it's going to be shallow.
One day it's going to be shallow.
One day it's going to be shallow. I'll be dead. But one day I hope, that's my wish, right? That will be shallow talk.
Yeah, it really is that point that, you know, I believe there's a shift happening right now. You know, I think, you know, there's so many people who are waking up to so much more. I think materialism has been there for such a long period of time that now there's so many people who've achieved that materialism, got what they want, and realized that there's nothing there that they want.
Yes.
And then they come out, but now they're speaking about it and like, what can I get? How can I fill this me?
Yeah, and the reason why that happens is because the whole motive was never their own.
That's it.
But, you know, this is crazy. This is so important. Okay, this is so important because...
You got my attention. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Right? Because if you are chasing something and you desire something and it's not genuinely a part of your own motivation, it's not something that you truly want in your core, right? The sad part is you might have to achieve that before you recognize that you never really wanted it to begin with, right?
Totally.
Because when you finally get it, there's no fulfillment. And it's like, I don't get it. You know, some people spend their entire lives studying and they get up there and they graduate and they become a doctor, you know, and
I've had some family members who've done that.
You know what I mean?
And actually got their doctorate and walk down like, I don't want to do this.
And they're like, is that what this was?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there have been astronauts who have been to the moon. Like, they spend a lifetime. Guys, they spend a lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay? Training and learning. And it's the fittest of the fittest. Like, to be an astronaut, you have to be a superhero to be an astronaut.
Absolutely.
You got to be smart and physically in shape, right?
Yeah.
Like, crazy combination. So anyway, they study their entire lives. They go to the moon.
Yeah.
They come back. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, yeah, we made it.
Yep.
And then they're like,
Now what?
I still got like 40 years. Like, you know, I've been to the moon. Like, what else is there to do?
Let me write a book
You
about
know
going to the
what I mean?
moon.
And so, not to say that these aren't amazing things.
No,
They
of
are.
course.
But what I'm saying is, if
It's a
we
level
don't
of fulfillment.
Yeah, if we don't identify, you know, what genuinely fulfills us, and it can only come from you. It can't come from anybody else. If you don't identify that, then it doesn't matter what you achieve. It's never going to bring that. And how many rich people do you know that say, guys, you know, the money doesn't make you happy? And then, you know, because everybody else doesn't have money, they're like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. If I could go to the store and buy the latest pair of Jordans, you know.
Totally.
I think I would be happy.
But then you see, it comes back down to emotional.
Yes.
Because when you have the finances, people are looking for the finances to satisfy the emotional.
Yes. Yes, and if you don't have the self-awareness, you won't even catch it.
No.
You won't catch it until it's too late.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you can get that skill set, which is a skill set that they don't teach you in school, that they
No.
don't even teach you in university. If you can get that skill set, you know, and learn how to lead your own life and be fulfilled, you know, by your own standard, then accomplishment it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's accomplishment that matters to you. Like, there are some people out there who feel like, you know, what fulfills them is being a great mother. You know, I have 2 moms. They're both like that. You know what I mean? So when you look at that person, success to them is giving to their family to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
It's not making $1 million. It's building, you know, the family structure and people who can go out and be successful in the world. And that's what truly is amazing for them. And then you have other people that are like, I just want to get out there and run a business and be an entrepreneur, and that's what gets me going. That's what I love.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. But you have to know that. You have to know that.
Yes.
Right? And if you don't take a moment to get to know that, you're going to get to the finish line, and then the finish line is going to disappear. That's
Absolutely.
what happens. Right?
Wow.
So,
Jamelle, you've been dropping some nuggets. You've been making me think today. Thank you so much. It hurts.
I'm glad, man. I hope that is valuable. Like, I hope that the people watching get some
There ain't no hope in it.
No, I really am.
Fact. Fact, no hope.
No,
it's a fact. I want to, okay, so if there's something that you could leave our listeners and our viewers with, what would be that statement?
First of all, I wouldn't leave our listeners and viewers, but if I have to.
If you have to, if you've
which
been
seems
forced
to be what you're insinuating right now.
It's like, leave.
What I would say is this. I would say, okay, take a second and just become aware of your body right now. Feel your bum on your chair, okay? Feel your feet planted on the ground. Really move into the sensation of your body, you know? Take a breath. Oh, it feels great, right? And now I'm going to say a statement, and I want for you to go to your body and identify how it resonates with you, okay? So the statement is this. Your life is your fault. Let that sit. So, if what went through your body was joy and excitement, like, yes, I love that my life is my fault because I wake up and I live the most phenomenal life ever. I'm not talking to you, right? If you heard that statement and you went, no, it's not my fault. It's my mother's fault. It's my boyfriend's fault or my girlfriend's fault or my boss's fault, or I just didn't have this or that. If there was any resistance that came into your body when I said that your life is your fault, you've got to consider that. Because if it's not your fault, then there's nothing that you can do about it. If it is your fault, then the sky is the limit. And reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you.
Wow. 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 I'm gonna replay that.
Yeah, can we?
Every morning I'm gonna replay that. I'm gonna hear Jamelle's voice in the background. It's my fault. My gosh, it's my fault. No.
Yeah, but hold on, I want it to be the happiest thing ever.
Yes,
like,
no.
yes, it's my fault, so I can like do something then.
And that's the key, is coming to
man.
that realization of there's something that can be done about it. Jamelle, look, there's a lot of people are going to resonate with you. There's a lot of people are going to be like, wow, I need to talk to this guy. I need to get down to one of his events.
Easy to
I need to
access.
see, how do people follow you or get to you? What do you have coming up right now?
Okay, so I do have a workshop that's coming up. It's going to be an interactive learning experience, and that's coming next Sunday on the 30th.
Okay.
If you would like to be a part of it, then go to my website, jamellelindo.com, JamelleLindo.com. Everything is there. So if you're interested in just talking to me and just having a conversation, I would love to meet you and talk about how we can work together to help you to become the leader of your own life. If you want to come out to the workshop, scroll down to the very bottom of the website. There's this button that says RSVP, because it's a small group. I'm keeping it small. I like it small and intimate. Like this. You know what I mean? So there aren't too many spaces left, but if you can get in there and make that happen, I'd love to meet you there as well.
So guys, you heard it here. Get your tickets. Get down. Follow this guy. See what he's doing. Get down to one of his events. Just even as a fact-finding mission. Sometimes you just want to do it just as a what if, okay? Go down as a fact-finding mission to understand what is it about, to get the feel from the inside out. Don't read something and be like, yeah, this is for me or this is not for me.
Right.
Go down. You've spent more money at a restaurant or an evening or at a date that you just like, oh man, that was not worth it.
Yeah.
You know
what
go
I mean?
and spend on something that could potentially change your life. Experience it from the inside out. Understand what it is, and see if you're ready for that change in your life.
Absolutely.
So, Jamelle, I just want to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so much for dropping some of those amazing nuggets.
Yeah.
And I would love to have you back on the show at some point. Would you be up for that?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't even want to leave. So.
I know. It's like, it should be like a 4-hour show, right?
So the next best thing is coming back.
Coming
right?
back, round two.
Yeah, man. I'll be here. And by the way, when you go to the website, all my social media is there. You can see the Facebook and the the Instagram. It's all there.
Fantastic. Guys, well, you heard it. Follow this guy. Make sure you get on this page, see what he's doing, see what he's about, experience some of his events. Guys, I want to thank you. We've gone a little bit over, but I want to thank you for tuning into the Breakthrough Show on Carib101 Radio. Please share this out. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of information here. Don't always think about yourself. Think about paying it forward to somebody else who is looking, who needs to hear this, okay? They may come across it by accident and hear something that may potentially change their life.
Yeah.
If you're in that position, do it now. Share it out.
Absolutely.
Make sure somebody else benefits from it. Guys, I want to thank you for being on the Breakthrough Show with me here today. I'm going to say, hey, listen, tune back in next week. Same time, same place, 11 a.m. EST time on Carib101 Radio on the Breakthrough Show, where we'll be having another amazing guest who's going to be dropping some major value. So we appreciate you guys. Remember, do something today that changes your tomorrow. Remember, there's no such thing as one day. Make today day one. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.
Creating a vital, healthy, informed community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, focusing on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and organizations which share in that same mission. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper is fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow by empowering the community, adding value, by instilling self-worth, and by showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper. Stand tall and be proud. Call